Everyone, it's Ben Rickard here from Builtin Insurance Brokers. Sorry I couldn't be with you in person today, but unfortunately double booked, and my colleague who was due to come down had a heart attack last week, so he's a little bit out of action for the moment. Anyway, I'll crack on. Key topic that we're covering is what's the difference between contract works insurance and public liability insurance. It will take probably 15 minutes for me to run through this. The key question that I would like you to think about is, if something happens on site, should the claim be made on the contract works or the public liability insurance? They cover different things, but there is also a little bit of overlap. First, a bit about Builtin. We've been working now for more than 20 years exclusively in the construction industry. All our customers are builders or other construction trades. We've got an office of 10 staff in Tauranga, and we have a staff member who works out of Christchurch as well. We've got well over 2,000 customers nationwide now, from single LBPs, many building hub customers, all the way up to large construction companies as well. And whilst we're a small business, we are a member of Steadfast, which is Australia's largest insurance broker network. That gives us the scale, the buying power, negotiating power to get the best possible cover and prices for our customers. Our mission is to help construction professionals manage their risk by being experts that are responsive and easy to deal with. So our customers have told us they want us to know their business well, know their industry, know the risks that they face, to be responsive, and that means that we answer the phone or we get back to you and we respond to emails. And because we know that's important, because you're often getting in touch with us at the very last minute, so you need things urgently. And lastly, we're easy to deal with, so you can get a hold of us, but also we put things in simple terms as much as we can, and try and minimize the paperwork as well as much as we can. We provide a full range of risk management services, so that's primarily insurance, but we also do a lot of education, risk advice and prevention, workshops with customers, helping them build risk registers. We do contract reviews for customers to look at the obligations they are being asked to sign up to around insurance or liability, if you're not using a building hub contract, for example. And obviously we advocate on claims for customers as well. So first question, what does contract works insurance cover? It covers accidental damage or loss to the works that are being built. That can include existing structures that are being worked on. So if it's a new home, then that's easy. It's just the labor and materials that have got into the new home. If it's an alteration or a renovation, then you're covering the works that are part of the alteration or renovation. And you can also then cover the existing structure for accidental damage that is caused by the construction. Or if the building's not going to be insured at all while the works are going on, then you can insure that existing structure for full cover as well under the contract works. That would be normally if the house and insurer has said we don't want to insure it while it's being worked on because, say, the roof's come off or it's being totally reclad or something like that. The types of events that are covered by contract works are storms, floods, burglaries, vandalism, fires, earthquakes, subsidence and collapse, or any accidental damage that might be caused by builders or subbies or suppliers arriving in trucks and causing damage that no one admits to. So then what does the public liability insurance cover? Well, that covers your liability for accidental damage or loss to someone else's property. And that's typically meant to be things that are outside the works themselves or outside the property that you're working on. It certainly doesn't cover your own property. It's other people's property that you've damaged that you're liable for. And so that's the key point at the bottom. Someone else must have suffered a loss as a result of your actions or the actions of someone that you're responsible for. And that person's holding you liable for their loss. If it's part of the contract and it's during the contract, then it's not going to be covered by liability insurance, and that's where it would need to be covered by the contract works insurance. There are some circumstances that can be covered potentially by both policies. This is typically when a subcontractor has caused damage to a part of the works. So let's say you've installed all the framing and the jib's up, and then the sparky comes in and he's caused some damage to that jib. So the sparky is liable for the damage to the jib because that's not his property. But the jib is part of the contract works and it's been damaged, so it's also covered under that. That can be complicated. Insurers are now getting smart to it, and often you'll see liability insurance now that won't cover damage if it is covered by a policy of contract works insurance separately. Worth bearing in mind that subcontractors are usually noted as being insured under the contract works insurance. So if you're a subcontractor and you cause damage to the contract works, you're entitled to be covered by that policy. If the main contractor or the homeowner or the principal won't make a claim for damage that you've done as a subby, as long as subcontractors are included, you are entitled to make a claim yourself under that contract works insurance and be covered by it. The preferred approach, if this comes up, like if you're a subby and you've caused damage to the works, is for the claim to be made on that primary policy, which is the one that's insuring the asset, the materials or the works themselves. So the claim should be made on the contract works insurance, or the house policy if it's damage to someone's existing house in the first instance. Like I said, increasingly liability insurance will exclude claims if there's a contract works policy in place that would cover the damage. And main contractors can be reluctant to make claims on their contract works insurance that they've arranged if it's a subby that has caused the damage. But as I said, the policy exists to cover damage. Doesn't matter how it's caused or who causes it. So that's why we would say, as a subby, even you can expect to have damage you've caused to be covered by the contract works insurance, although you would typically then have to be responsible for the excess. So if you are a subby, request a copy of the contract works insurance up front so you know it's in place. You can check it includes subcontractors as an insured party, and you've got those details if you do need to make the claim yourself on that policy. There's a couple of circumstances where contract works insurance may not cover a claim, and these are the more common ones. Firstly, defective workmanship isn't insured by contract works insurance, although the policy will cover resultant damage that arises, as a result of defective workmanship. But if someone just does some defective work, it's not going to be covered by contract works insurance. Also, any marring or scratching to glass isn't going to be covered as well. So that's a pretty much reasonably wide exclusion these days. When you're doing renovations and you damage the owner's property, would it be their house insurance or your liability insurance that would cover it? The key question there is, how old is the property that's been damaged? Because, and I'll explain in a minute why, but typically the way that you would process a claim here is if caused damage to someone's house or to their contents, is that they would make a claim on their house or contents insurance first, and then let their insurer recover that loss from you. The key reason for that is that house and contents insurance policies are replacement value. So they will replace a damaged item with a new version of that item. So house and contents policies are replacement value. Liability insurance, on the other hand, is only an indemnity value policy. So it only pays what the item is worth now, not what the cost would be to replace it with a brand new one. So they're not insuring betterment. And that's really because you are not, as an individual, if you damage someone's property, you're not liable to replace that damaged property with a brand new version of it. You're only liable for the loss that they've suffered, which is the value of the item, however old it might be. So just think about, and we'll come on to it, think about if you crashed into someone's car and wrote it off, you're not liable to replace that car with a brand new car. You're just liable to replace that car with one in the same age, make, model, condition, as the one that that you hit. And it's the same concept with any other property, whether that's their TV that you've knocked off the wall or their kitchen bench top that you've scratched. So you're only liable for how old it is. And a good example is old carpet. So if someone spills paint or causes damage to carpet and it's 15 years old, you're not liable to replace that carpet with brand new carpet. Now, their insurance policy says that they will replace that damaged carpet with new carpet, but that doesn't mean that you're legally liable to cover the brand new carpet. So here's that example here. How old is the damaged item affects how much your liability insurance would cover. if you're going to make the claim directly on your liability insurance for that damaged item. If they're going to claim on their house or contents insurance first, and their house or contents insurer has a replacement value policy, they'll replace the damaged carpet with brand new carpet. Their insurer then holds you liable for the loss that their insurer has suffered, which is the cost of new carpet. Your liability insurance will cover the loss the insurer has suffered, which is the full cost of the new carpet. So that is how you make sure your liability insurance covers you for the full cost of replacing someone's damaged item with a new item through their own house and contents insurance. It's a very roundabout way to do it, but that's because of the way that liability insurance works. It covers your legal liability, and your legal liability is not for the replacement of the item. It's only for the value of it when it was damaged. If you are going to do the work yourself to repair any damage that you've caused, your liability insurance will only cover the labor plus the materials at cost. So you can't make a profit or margin on repairing something that you've damaged. So like I said, claim on the house insurance first. They will pay to replace the damaged item. Then they will seek recovery from the liable contractor. And your liability insurance will then reimburse the house insurer's loss in full, less your excess. And that means also that the householder, the homeowner, will get their excess back. They won't have a claim on their record because their insurer has recovered the full amount of the claim that they've paid. So there's no effect on their no claims bonus or anything like that. So that's the best way to go about it. So in summary, contract works insurance insures the works, including subbies if they cause damage. Public liability insurance insures your liability for damage to other people's property. So that's property outside the works, not your own property. Public liability is for indemnity value only, as it only covers what you're legally liable for, and that's according to the age and condition of the item that you've damaged. Whereas contract works and house insurance are replacement value policies. Hopefully that has been a whistle-stop tour, but hopefully that's helped you understand some differences between contract works and liability insurance, and also why if you do cause damage to someone's property, it's always best for them to make that claim on their house or contents insurance first, and let their insurer then recover from you via your liability insurance, rather than making the claim directly on your liability insurance. That's our contact details. Please get in touch. You can do an instant quote online for the cover that we provide, or we can put a quote together for you. Yeah, that's it from me. Thanks very much, and back to you, Jody.